Hello guys. So let's just start off with the numbers, okay? So let's start off with like how much is the revenue? How much was the last 30 days?
Revenue was around 50K.
Okay.
What precise numbers or just
Yeah, 50K is going to be enough. How many creators?
5?
Okay. How much was the top model making?
Around 30K.
Okay. So we can also from that we are able to see a big problem because that means that one model is basically bringing in like 60% of the revenue. What that means is if this model leaves, then basically 60% of the business will go away in one day, right? All of us can see this. Okay. What is roughly the profit from this 50K revenue?
Not enough.
What does that mean?
I think we have around 15K.
15K, okay. So I guess the models are on percentage, like 30, 40%.
Correct, yes.
Like, is it like 30, 40, or like how much is it?
Mostly 50 or 40. One of them is 40%.
40%ish, okay. Are you guys using like a chatting agency?
Yes, we are.
Okay. And how much are they charging?
17
17%, okay.
on the sales only.
I got you. What are the main traffic sources for you guys right now?
Reddit. We are trying to do other stuff, but yeah, mostly Reddit.
Mostly Reddit. And how much is it like revenue wise, like percentage wise? How much is 90% Reddit? Okay. So you guys currently have a super risky business because what does this mean? Basically, from the top creator is bringing in like 60% of the revenue, and out of that, 90% is going to be Reddit. So your guys' main business is like running Reddit account for this one creator.
Correct.
And that's it. For Reddit, what are you guys doing? Is it like safe for work, not safe for work, suicide, or
Some suicide, yes, some also just organic safe but not safe for work, and we are experimenting with safe for work, but currently not really.
okay? So mainly organic.
Yeah, organic and some suicide.
Okay. What is the other 10%? Is it going to be like IG, TikTok, or like what else?
IG and some share for share, shouting out
Okay.
haters, but that's not really.
So I guess that means like the IGs and the short form content side is not really working for you guys, right? What do you feel like is the bottleneck there? Is it like you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the methods, the creators are not working, or what exactly?
The creators are probably a big bottleneck because they don't really produce content, but if they produce, it's not really working. They don't have reach.
Okay.
It's also a setup question, yeah. Setup mostly, I think you can say a method. I don't know if you have I wouldn't call it a method, but just posting, trying to post. Yeah.
I got you. Now,
Also, the content is not really great.
okay, so basically you have content problem, you have a laziness problem, you also have, you think that you have also a method problem, right? That you don't know like how to exactly manage the accounts. Okay, so let's first of all break down content. How much are you guys currently focused on IG content?
Not really.
And let's just say like previously, like did you put more focus into content or nothing really?
IG content, no.
Okay, so like what you guys are telling me right now, we are not getting IG results because we are also not focusing on IG.
Yes. Fortunately, yeah.
Okay, so we can already like see more focus on this.
But how?
We're going to also like break it down when we are going through like all of the IG accounts. So like what I would recommend for each of the models that you have, because I went through like all of their accounts of like what I would recommend to do in each of these cases. You also mentioned laziness from the creators. Do you know that it's 100% laziness, or it can be also something else from the models. Because what I have experienced, in a lot of cases, they are not lazy, but they can be overwhelmed. They feel like that the content that they are doing is not aligning with themselves. Like, what is your feedback on that?
I think they simply just don't know what to do. Like, they don't have ideas,
Okay.
the models.
Yeah. Even though we are sometimes sending them content inspo,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're not recreating all of the reels or recreating them, but it's really cheap quality.
Have you ever asked them what's the problem?
Not really, no.
We haven't really pushed them on the IG side.
Okay. So if I see it clearly, you guys are not putting any focus on the content itself. And you're also blaming obviously the content, and you're also blaming the models because they are lazy and they are not doing their work. But you never really ask them, like, what's the problem? Why, like, what is going to be difficult? Because for some creators, what I have noticed is they want to do the work, but they don't enjoy this kind of videos, or they don't enjoy the editing part, or they don't know like how to exactly do it, or it might be too much for them. Because what I've also did in the past, which I completely fucked up, is when we got like a brand new creator, we giving them like a huge document of like who creating reward, first, second, and like everything was super organized and also like super engineered, which was overwhelming for the creators. And that's why they weren't doing anything.
Okay, I would say we are on the other side because we're not really explaining anything.
Okay.
We're just sending over the reels.
Okay. Have you guys ever shoot any of these reels yourself? When I was starting out, I actually tried shooting reels myself, and I realized that, okay, this is harder than I thought. So it's really easy to send them like a couple ideas. Okay, shoot this. And if you like send them like hundreds of ideas, and you just expect them to shoot without like proper communication of like making sure that the model is able to do it, like every single day without burning out, you cannot expect them to like do all of the content. Now you're just blaming them on laziness, but in most cases that's not laziness. For example, also, like as you guys just said, you weren't focused on the content. I can also just say, okay, you guys were lazy. That might not have been the case, but you did not know how to do better content. You might have started it out, but did not get sufficient results from it, so you abandoned it, right?
That's exactly what.
That might also be happening with the creators. So they tried it out for like 2, 3, 4 weeks. They did not get the results. Then why the fuck would they be motivated to do any content? That makes sense? Again, don't get me wrong, a couple of models are going to be lazy. I'm not saying that with like this one secret method, they are going to be workhorses the next day. But still, we should also care about making sure that the models know how to do it, why to do it, and how you can help them shoot as much as possible with the as high quality as possible. That makes sense? Yeah. Just going to be about setting expectations.
And how should we do that? How do you recommend that? Going on a call or writing some PDFs or
So when I say managing expectations, it's going to be about constantly being like positive reinforcement. What does that mean? Like whenever she's shooting some kind of content, you should constantly be telling them, okay, this was really good. We enjoyed this. Like this got way more views than the other ones. We got X much traffic from it. We got like a lot of traffic from it compared to before. This hook was way better than before. Just like any smaller things that will still keep them motivated. Because what I guess is happening right now, you send them a bunch of ideas, she makes them, you upload, that's it. And she's also not getting the results. So what she sees, she puts in a lot of work, she's not getting anything. Now why the fuck would I continue, right? And also they don't feel any kind of improvement with that. But if you tell them that I see that you improved, then they're going to say, yeah, thank you so much, and they are going to feel so much better. That makes sense? And also what helped me a lot with these type of creators is telling that IG is going to be a longer term game. We must focus on it right now because it might take 1 to 3 months to get the best results possible. And after that, you are going to be making way more money. You can also say that, yeah, with Reddit, right now the top is 5K, 10K, 30K or whatever, but I do feel like that you can be 100K per month creator. We just have to put together our minds for 1, 2, 3 months, and like start getting some results that way. Does that make sense? Does that sound feasible?
It does, but I would ask if you would recommend hiring someone for this specific role, or should we do that ourselves?
That would have been my next question, because I also want to see your guys' structure of like who is in the company, who is the team, who is responsible for what. So just based on your question, I assume that there is no IG manager, like a proper manager for that.
No, not at the moment, no.
So I guess for IG, you have one employee who's just like sending out all of these ideas, but making sure that the work is done as soon as possible and calling it a day, right?
Yeah, doing that.
Okay, so like when you are putting together this like IG list or like content creation pack, like how do you do it? Is it just like, okay, putting together like a bunch of ideas that the models are like able to shoot and that's it?
Yeah, so basically I search for reels and put it together in a Notion note, and I just sending it with a little explanation or no explanation or, and yeah.
So basically just like copy pasting everyone else's. Okay, since you have these 5 creators, then are you focused on making sure that all of the 5 creators are making content which is going to be about their brand and like their personality and also their target audience, and also making sure that the brand is cohesive? Or is it just like finding like a couple ideas, copying it, sending it, and like ending your workday?
Yeah, it's not niche, it's just a bunch of stuff that it's viral.
Okay, so do we see a problem there?
Yes.
Yes, because people are different, so you have to go.
Exactly. This method, exactly. So this method of like, okay, just copy someone else and calling it a day, that was working a couple years ago. But now if we want to get really good results with IG, we have to put in way more focus. That's nowadays the problem with IG, because with Reddit, with at least organic Reddit, if you just like put in some effort, you're able to get some results. But with IG, it's either no results or a lot of results. But in order to get like hundreds and thousands of subs a day with IG, you have to put in a lot of effort. Like, do you feel like right now, if I just told you, okay, you have 1, 2, 3 creators, you have to make sure that it is as on brand as possible, and you also have to make sure that like it is as viral as possible, and making sure that the model is able to shoot that. Would you be able to fulfill this task right now?
I think yes.
What's stopping you?
I'm not sure.
Because it wasn't told you before. Like, I guess what you told him is like, look for a couple ideas, making sure that IG is running, making sure that, okay, we are also doing that part, and that's it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We are working on hiring more people. We just hired recently. You can blur out the name. Yeah, we are working on that, but just, I find it harder to find good people these days.
I got you. So based on this, can we talk about your current structure of like what kind of employees you have, what is the team, on like how everything looks like?
Yes.
I guess you're at the top.
On top G. If you
Okay.
like to call it, yeah. Then there's Tommy,
Okay.
general manager.
Okay.
We recently hired who's gonna be the general manager and gonna have some other tasks.
Okay. Okay. So let me just like put it like this. And what is going to be
The stuff that does now
and what does he do?
talks to the models
And make sure that everything is running.
yeah, something like that. Talks to models, forwards the customs, collects the content, sets up some of the accounts, OF accounts or stuff like that, Reddit accounts.
Okay.
Check if
Reddit account.
Not setting up the accounts themselves, but
just checking
checking if they are all active.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like quality control, I would say. But not even quality, just if everything is working.
Okay.
Yeah, and some miscellaneous tasks. Then there's the Reddit team. And there's one more VA who does the OFM, the fancy postings.
Reddit team. What does the team include? Is there like a manager who is like taking?
One manager and one poster who helps. But the manager also posts because we are not having that many accounts. So she has time to also post to a few accounts.
Okay, so what does he going to do?
From now on, yeah, testing of methods. That's our plan for now. His responsibility will be to test out new methods, and once we find something that works, we just plug it into the other models. Implement exactly.
I got you. So what I've heard, at least based on this like general manager role, there wasn't clear like tasks to do and also clear responsibilities.
Except from Reddit, yes, something like that. And of course, I'm also doing some tasks mixed in with Tommy.
I got you. So what I see, at least from this, is I want to make sure that you guys have, for every single team member, responsibilities of making sure, for example, if the Reddit poster is fucking up something, then who are you going to blame?
Him, her, the poster.
And what's the manager task? Isn't the manager's task to make sure that all of the posts are going out right?
Yeah, he's.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that would be because the posters and all of these lower level of VAs, they are going to be doing the robotic tasks, right? There's going to be, unfortunately, because they're also human, some room for error, right? That is also going to be the manager's task to make sure that none of that is going to be happening. So now you went down here for the poster, but that should be, in my opinion, again, like it's going to depend from case to case, but the manager should be taking care of it. And in your eyes, this poster problem shouldn't be even like acknowledgeable. Like you shouldn't even see what the poster is doing yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And based on what you said before, what are you doing personally on a day-to-day tasks?
So many tasks I can't even.
Name a few.
I'm also trying to find some methods.
When,
Still communicating with most of the models,
okay,
which I would not like to do from now.
wait a sec. So CEO tasks. Now that you mentioned methods, when did you start learning these new methods?
We are always trying.
Okay, and so far you are doing Reddit Organic, right?
At the moment, yes.
So do we see that it's like not really working out, right?
Working, yes, but what can I do? I don't want to depend on one traffic source because if that gets fucked, then we are also fucked.
Okay,
So I'm always
now
right.
there is going to be a big reality change because what I see, at least in like all of you guys, is you're focused on the technical side of this stuff, but you are not focused on making sure that the models are bringing 100% to the game and also making sure that the content is as good as possible, because all of you knew that content is going to matter the most, right? That's not news for you, right?
Yes, correct. I always wanted to run the agency as an agency dependent agency and not a creator dependent agency. That's why I'm trying to find this stuff.
So far you have been doing OFM for how long?
A few years too.
So far it took you 4 years to figure out Reddit Organic.
2 years, yeah.
That's a problem, right?
It is.
So what that means is what you were doing before is not really working that much, right? Because Reddit Organic is not that super complicated, correct?
Yeah. Suicide, I would say it's a bit more complex, but even that is not.
Okay. So again, all of you know that content is going to matter the most because like organic method, suicide method, and everything is just a distribution system for the content. For example, IG posting or like mass accounts or mass DMs or organic or suicide, whatever. It's just like a mass system for like showing it to as many people as possible. and you have that system basically with the organic stuff, with the IG. I guess you also have like an iPhone farm, right? Or like an Android farm, or like whatever farm.
We have an iPhone farm, yes.
Okay.
But
So okay. So just based on that, you focused on the technical side, and you're also putting a lot of hours into your past couple of years into finding new methods. But you haven't focused on, okay, what kind of content am I posting with the methods that I'm doing? Does that make any sense?
it does, yeah.
Okay. So instead of looking at the methods, which I guess you already have a fuck ton of methods, right? Because you have been in this game for many years. Like how to post on TikTok, how to post on Snapchat, and like IG and like whatever.
Methods themselves, yeah, we have them.
Okay. But
Don't know what works and what doesn't. So mostly none of them work, except
okay, it doesn't work because what we have discussed, the methods are just a key to making sure that the content is being visible to as many people as possible. Just like a distribution system. Yeah, none of them work because you haven't focused on the fucking content. Because if you like do like fucking thousands of accounts, but the content is shit, then thousands of people are going to see shit content and they are not going to subscribe. Because you are also a technical founder. I was also one, and I also see this in a lot of guys. That they are like technical side, okay, proxies, like whatever, remote access, all this fancy shit, but they're not focused on, because this is still a content business. What do guys buy with OF? Content. And obviously, like relationships, like the chatting and everything, but it's going to be content. It's like saying that you are selling a product, but you're not focusing on the product at all. Does that make sense? Not really, right?
yeah. And what would you recommend with the models that really just don't have it? We have one creator who's just really bad with content.
Then why are you working with her in the first place?
I don't know.
Again, that doesn't make sense, right?
She makes some money.
Okay.
Not much, but she makes some money.
Okay, at that point, it's going to be about how much energy it takes from you and your team. For example, if you have a model who is making 5K per month, out of that is like 1 to 2K's profit, and you have no work with her, then keep her. Or if you have a model who is making 10K a month, but it takes like 100% of your energy and effort, then it's not really worth it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's just going to be making sure that you guys look at her and like how much content and like how much effort it takes from your team, how much energy it takes away from other creators.
I think the attention is split between the creators equally.
Okay.
Making
So now what you are saying is, you have a creator who is not doing anything, is almost barely making any money, and also takes up 25% or like 20% of your effort. Should you keep her?
yeah.
No, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Does that make sense for everyone? Yeah. Okay, so you went through methods, and instead of the methods, look at content. What else are you doing?
Still talking to most of the creators.
What are you talking about with the models?
Mostly just checking in, I don't know, invoicing, making sure that they are okay, giving some explanations if needed, stuff like that.
Okay, are you
Don't enjoy it also.
okay? So if you feel like that you don't enjoy it at all, and it also takes up some of your like energy, and it's also like bullshit tasks, then do you feel like that you should be doing this?
Not at the moment, no. I'm planning on changing that.
Okay, then you already know like
Yes. And I think to do a better job because she's also a girl and communication.
100%. I would definitely do that. Yeah, it's also in my agency. We also have my fiance who is like doing like all of this. So it's also the same thing. What else?
What else am I doing? Invoicing. I said that's
Okay, invoicing. That's like with like 5 models. It's like whatever. Okay.
yeah. And some of the tasks that does, but sometimes I just also do it because instead of explaining something, I just do it quicker.
I see. So when you say that, yeah, explaining takes a lot more time, I guess some of these tasks are like repeatable tasks, right? Why not just take Bloom videos, explain it once, and there you go? That's it. Like you do it once, like I guess you're able to learn from like a Loom video, right? Where David is just going to like lay over everything, right?
Yeah.
I know that it is hard because I also sometimes cope with this that yeah, it's going to be harder to explain it, so I'm doing it myself. It is working in the short term.
Mostly afraid that, not because I don't trust him or anyone else, but I think that I will be able to do it in the best way.
What?
Like some of the tasks.
What?
You know, like setting up a fucking OF account, doing the bio, choosing the best profile pictures.
Okay, why not give it to for like a trial? You see like how he does it, give him some feedback, and that's it.
Yeah, makes sense.
Do you think that you're able to set up an OF account?
I'm 100% sure that I could set up an OF account.
Yeah, I'm also sure. I don't know.
Then? Is it just like that you want to feel busy?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Why? Where is it coming from? Is it like, are you like...
Childhood trauma, I don't know. No, yeah. It makes sense what you're saying, yeah.
because some of those things, like BS tasks, there are going to be two kind of tasks, or like two kinds of work. One is which is going to keep you afloat, just keeping you at the level. For example, like setting up an OF account, or like any other like BS task, for example, talking with the models or like anything like this. That's just going to keep you afloat, which is able to like keep you busy, but it's not going to be growing you. Like setting up another OF account, or like that's not really going to grow you from 50K to 100K, right? What's going to actually help you is the growing tasks. How we can do that, which is going to be coming from doing more and doing better. That is super simple system. It is hard to execute, but it's simple. If we want to scale a business, it's just going to be about doing more and doing better. Let me just... Give me like a couple ideas of how you're able to use this, any of you. How you can do more and how you can do better.
Maybe more, if we're talking about Reddit,
Okay,
more accounts,
okay,
maybe better quality content.
okay.
That's it. On Reddit.
Anything else?
That's it.
I assume IG is the same. More accounts, better reels.
Okay.
I think there's
What else is there apart from content? Is it can be like the management side, so like better captions or like better feedback in general, like a
I'm sure.
better setup, better conversion, better targeting. Why not just also focus on those instead of like more methods? Obviously, like more is also like obviously use more methods, but in most cases, it's just like easier to like run more accounts and also do better content, better management, better targeting, better captions, better everything. And with all of this, usually with the better part is going to be about the data. Just a funny story. Like a couple of months ago, when I really deep dive into the data itself, I was, especially on IG, I was looking at all kinds of data. And what I have noticed is for the landing page, I was using LinkMe. And when I added a couple more pictures at the bottom of the site, my conversion tripled. Tripled the fucking conversion without doing anything else. Same content, same creator, same everything. Just added a couple more pictures and tripled the revenue just from that. But that's only because of data. So here also comes my next question. What are you guys tracking, or is it everything just like vibe based?
Well, I wouldn't say vibe based, but yeah, we're tracking subs and revenue from Only Master.
Okay, and that's it.
Yeah, based on an account, each account has a separate tracking link. If an account works for a method, we do it. If it doesn't, we stop.
Okay. So generally, when we are talking about data, especially with the social medias, we can also talk about like there are going to be like multiple parts. For example, with the IG part, it can be the IG views. It can be from how many. This is just like an example. From how many people watch it, how many go to the profile. From how many profile visit to link clicks. From link clicks to OF clicks. and then subs. So what most people do is just want to get the most amount of IG views and then look at the subs. But this is basically like this whole funnel. This is coming like this and also like this. For example, you might be already getting like millions of views on IG, might be getting here, but people are not coming to visit your profile. That's going to be way different than, for example, they are clicking on your OF, but they're not subscribing, right? They're going to be way different things. But if you don't have the data, you don't know like where the problem exactly is. Does that make sense? So this is why making sure to look at the data is going to be super important. For what to exactly track, I'm going to give you guys like a PDF of like how to track, what to track, when to track, just to make your life as easy as possible. But now you understand why it's going to matter the most. Because if you just 1% better on every single thing, then you're just going to get more subs with basically no work.
Okay.
And this is a method.
Thanks for the method.
Okay, sounds good so far. For the creators and like the whole agency. Okay, so guys, what is the main niche that you are focused on with the agency? Is there like one niche that you are like super focused on, or is it just like random girls that you found?
We have young girl niche.
Okay.
We have MILF. We are also doing AI generated.
Or trying at least.
Try.
Like an AI model or?
No, it's a real model, but yeah. But that's also
Okay, AI, but like what kind of AI? Is she like
the teen niche, young girl niche. Same. And yeah, we have 1 million.
You also have like, I guess, like one other creator that you mentioned is like, we're not talking about her, right?
She's the one that will go.
Yeah. I mean, let's not talk about her. So when you mention young girl, because I have already seen the IG accounts, would you say that all the 3 young girls are exact same niche? Because what you said, young girl, it can be a black, short, bodybuilder, young girl because she's 18, and there can be another 18 girl who is like fucking big makers, goth, emo, all that shit. But what you just said is the age. But what is the niche?
Mostly petite, yeah, skinny.
Okay, that's body type. Okay.
The MILF is like she's a overweight, fat creator.
Again,
Yeah.
what's happening right now is there is no clearly defined niche or defined persona with these girls. What you just said is they are young and they are petite and skinny. Okay, but who are they? Like, I just asked you like what kind of creators you have, and like what you just said is they are young and petite. Okay, but you cannot say to me like, okay, we have one girl who is this, right?
Correct.
I'm not sure if we can say this on YouTube, but I would say hello babe.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Yeah.
That's why I heard it.
Okay, so what we see here is you don't have a clearly defined niche, like a different persona, because what would have been like a clear answer? Yeah, we have 3 girls who are kind of similar looking. One of them has this kind of persona, this kind of personality, this kind of following. We have another one who is more in the athletic kind of vibe, and like some kind of answer like this. Because what you just said is they are like any other girl. They are like any other young, petite, skinny girl.
Yeah.
That is what you said. And now, because there is like more and more OF girls in the space, it's not really working anymore. You see a problem there, right?
Yes, but how should we come up with niches?
Okay. With that, we also have to talk about target audience. I asked this question of like what kind of niche the models are in, because what I would recommend is that most of the models or all of the models should have the same target audience. What does that mean? For example, if you just go back to the previous example, you have a petite, skinny young girl who is goth, and you have a different one who is like a gamer girl, and a different one who's a bodybuilder. then the target audience for all of those are going to be very, very different, right?
Yeah.
So we are not really able to fix on just like what kind of, like one kind of exact niche, right? So you have to do way more work because the ideas are going to be different. Chatting style is going to be different. The whole, what kind of emojis you're using are going to be different. The personalities are going to be different. Everything is different. Because if you just focus on one exact niche and one exact target audience, it's just going to make your life easier. And then you can make sure that, okay, you nail down this one niche the best instead of 4 right now. Does that make sense? And also regarding your question, so many people like throw around, and I also did it, niche. What is going to be a niche? In this category, in OFM, it's going to be about a personality. Who is she? If we break down like a personality, it's going to be about looks that you already like nailed down, the target audience. It can also be vertical, like what kind of format of video that she's doing. She can be also like live streaming or like reviewing cars or cooking or just like general OF stuff. So like verticals.
Should we decide on this with the models themselves, or should we come up with?
I think we should talk to them, right?
You should definitely talk to them.
Be okay with what
Yes, exactly.
you would like.
Personality and hobbies. The hobbies is going to be the easiest one. So for example, if you make one of these girls like a girl who is really into like BMW M4, for example, then you already have like a really good personality. You can also like brand her around that, and then you're also going to have like a really good target audience. Just like a really dumb example. Or you can also go into the military niche. Exactly, with the AI nowadays, you're able to go into like any kind of hobbies, any kind of personality, like whatever you want. Does that make sense? Is this making choosing a niche for the creator easier for you guys? Like these stuff, if you just like break it down to these. So for this, what I would recommend is make sure to ask the creator. Does that make sense?
Yes.
What I also have to say,
Should we present some and make them choose, or? Yeah, I think so.
I would ask first of like what they would feel comfortable doing and how would they, like what kind of looks does she like, do the models enjoy the most, what kind of target audience, obviously don't ask them. Verticals are also like give them some ideas of like, okay, we are thinking of X, Y, and Z. For example, if you have like a gamer girl, then like live streaming clips or like general gaming stuff can be like a good vertical. Personality, making sure that it fits her, obviously. And also the hobbies, again, ask her if she has like any kind of interesting subject or interesting hobby, or not. You can also like, suggest her like, a couple. Does that make sense? Yes. Another thing that I have to say with this is it's also going to depend on the creator. So it's not like a secret formula that's going to work for every single model on the planet, because some models or like some OF creators are not made to be content creators. Okay.
Yeah.
So you also have to look at your roster of like what kind of models you guys are working with, and discuss with them. Would you be open to actually build up a proper brand? Would you be open to shooting reels that you also enjoy, and would you be able to like become an influencer? Okay.
What if she said no?
Go to the next one.
Should we force it, or should we?
There's no point. There's no point in forcing it.
Should we motivate them, or should we just let go?
You can motivate her, like how I said it is going to be like a little harsh. Don't say that, okay, do you want to be a superstar? Like don't say it like this. But like you also have to make sure that she's open and willing to become like focusing more on the content itself. Because at least what you told me before, you wouldn't focus on the content. So how long have you been working with these creators?
One is new, but mostly a few months, and the big one is more than a year.
Yeah. So just based on this, I think that they already got used to what kind of content you're asking them. So you have to be clear that there's going to be some change on the content that you're going to be asking them to do. And the easiest for this is to look for, based on the experience that you have with these creators, on like how coachable they are. Like, what is their like coachability? Like, are they happy to get feedback? Are they happy to improve? Or is it just like, okay, here's the feedback and like, go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
Does that make sense so far? Okay, I got you. So now let's talk about the IG part. So this is the main creator, right? That you have, who is like making the most amount of, correct? Okay, so first of all, you guys know that there should be stories every single day, right? Just to make sure that you're getting as many engagement and as many reach as possible, right? There is no story in the last 24 hours. Super simple mistake. Also, it says the girl next door. Like, if I just look at her like this, like with this hair, with this background, with this everything, it doesn't really scream for me that she's just the girl next door. Because the girl next door should be like an average good looking girl. But with this kind of hair, she's not like an average like girl next door. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So far, the branding side of like who she is not really clear for me.
Okay.
Also, these first two pictures looks decent, especially this one is good. Next one, with this kind of background, it seems like kind of ghetto, in my opinion. So I guess you want to target US, you want to target like the main, like the best audience, and there is no stuff like this in the US. This, again, this is good. The highlights here are really good. I love them. Socials, me, girls, foodie, Q&A, reels. These are really good. I like them. So this is the socials. There is no link. So we see the problem, right?
Can you tell us more about this?
I didn't check that highlight.
So it took me 1 second to look through.
Probably got removed because
The account was banned at some point.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we forgot to put it back.
Okay, because you are not checking the data. Because if you checked out the data, okay, we are not getting any subs. Why is that?
Yeah.
Then look through the whole funnel. There is no fucking funnel, right?
But yeah, as I said, we're not really focusing on IG at the moment, but yeah.
You're not getting results because you're not focusing on it, right?
So what we are not focusing because we're not getting results.
Okay. So what if we started focusing on it?
Probably we would get results, yes.
Okay, so we can clearly see that this is not working, right?
No.
Okay. Again, if I just look at, these are the most recent reels. There is no clear branding, there is no clear persona, there is no clear anything. Just, if you like, start breaking it down. She has, in most of them, really, how should I say it, like emo, like goth-ish, like really exciting makeup on, really exciting hair, right?
Yeah.
Why not focus on this kind of persona? So like if you look at the face itself, nothing else, what kind of background would you imagine behind her? If it's just like, again, like look at her face, nothing else.
Some gaming setup maybe, or
Okay.
But to be honest, this hairstyle for her is kind of new. We didn't tell her to. Yeah, I'm not my Kobe, but I'm just saying her niche is not goth in any way. It wasn't like that.
I did not say to be like fully goth.
Intend to make that either. She just fucking dyed her hair and.
Okay. Okay, I understand. But still, like, it's not really dealt with, right? Have you discussed this with her? So what? If it really wasn't discussed with her, then like discuss with her. Okay. Also, again, she has, like we discussed, the background should be like neon lights, gaming, goth, some kind of old girl, right? Not girl next door, what we discussed before in the bio, but like focus on how she looks right now. And I guess this was, as you mentioned, her decision. Then discuss with her, okay, now this is your decision. This is how we should be moving forward, in my opinion. Background, this is shit. Like, look at this background. Does this look like a USA girl, or like looking that it's in LA?
European, yeah.
And it also looks shit. It's not just Eastern European.
First one, but the rest is.
The first one, yeah, that seems decent, but also, I mean, we are going to discuss it when we're talking about the reels exactly, but also the background doesn't fit it, and also, for example, this clothing.
Okay, but this question about this, what should we do about, like, can I send her to Shoot realism.
Get her an Airbnb or make her place look better. Discuss with her, okay, this is what kind of branding we should be looking after. Look for some other ideas. Ask her, which one would you be open to doing? And how we should be making sure that this outfit and this looks actually fit her. Because this looks like that she's like in a fucking camp or something, or like some bullshit place. Also with the clothing, because what we have discussed before, she's like, she should be at least with this hairstyle and also with these like eyeliners and everything, more of like an art girl, goth girl type of niche. And this clothing doesn't fit it. This stuff doesn't fit it either. Like if you're also goth and like everything, you're not going to be wearing any kind of clothing like this. This one looks decent. Again, she was wearing it like here. Again, this one doesn't look like that fitting. It should be like more black, purple, these kind of like deeper colors, and not like a green top like this. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
And again, with this, how much did you focus on getting her the best clothes that is going to fit her brand the most? Did you focus at all on her clothing, at her background, or nothing? You just like, these are the reels, shoot.
Right.
Okay. When we are focusing on the content, we have to look at the components. Because if I just say focus on the content, that's like, okay, but how? Let's just break it down to multiple parts. Going to be her, right? Her activity of like what she is doing. Is she dancing? Is she talking? Or is she whatever? Going to be also the text on it. Also going to be the background. Also going to be the clothing. You just like break it down to these kind of steps, and also the sound. We break it down to these kind of to components, and then we are able to make sure that okay, all of these are aligning with her brand, with herself, and also with the target audience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Just like again, break it down to this kind of stuff. If you break down any of this, you're going to say that okay, none of the components are exactly fitting. Make sense? Next, as we discussed before, you should be doing more and better. With better, it's also going to be better management. All of these guys are super horny, right? And all of these guys want to get her attention. Why aren't we responding to them?
At the moment, we don't really have the proper staff to do that.
Just hire a random Filipino VA to manage it. That's it. Like, all of these...
That really matters if you respond to comments.
1% better every day. You can test it out for like a month.
Okay.
It's going to perform better. Just you can respond to all of them, but how we do it is responding to only those guys who are like basically tier 1. If there are going to be like some pajeets, don't respond to them, even like block them. Okay? For example, with these guys, then they're going to feel like a way better like connection with the model. Does that make sense? Also, here another good way is respond videos. It doesn't have to be like an exact response. Like the model doesn't have to be like responding to this one, but reply video, just plug in one of the videos that she already done. And that way, the guy is going to feel like that the girl did it just for him. What this is going to do? Making sure that, okay, you're going to have the highest conversion because you're building like social relationships with all of these guys. And also another important thing, because other guys are going to see that the girl is responding with a video to the comments, they are also going to comment more, which is also going to make the account more viral. Does that make sense? Just like another thing with these comment responses, like if it's like super funny, super naughty or something like that, then it's also going to be a little bit more eye-catching that, okay, what did like someone comment? If someone said something freaky, then you can do like a response to that. Then it's also going to be like, okay, who the fuck would comment something like that? Does that make sense?
That comment appear on the video when we reply to it?
Yes.
Like on TikTok?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, this is like one of the videos. First of all, if I just go back into the beginning of it, the first 1 or 2 seconds, there is like no hook. There's like nothing exciting happening. When we are talking about hook, it can be either like some kind of music, some kind of really funny text, or it can also be some kind of movement. The movement is going to be the easiest. So for example, if she's just standing like this, just like what she's doing right now, just like a little bit of moving, that's not enough like action. But if you just jump like this, then there would be way more, like, the video would seem way more interesting.
Yeah, well, with these videos, mostly we are asking for longer takes, and we are chopping them up and slapping some text over that.
Because that's also what we discussed. You are treating IG as like a job that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right? And with that, you are getting it done, you're not getting the results. And I guess previously you did not get the results, so you fall back down to the laziest solution, right?
Correct, yes.
So that's obviously not working. And at this point, it's just like running for nothing, running for the vibes.
But we are mostly doing this because of the lack of quantity of content. So we have some better areas that she's doing and she's editing that look better. But to be consistent and post multiple times a day, you need some fillers, and you use these as fillers.
I looked through the whole page and it was 90% fillers.
Yeah, maybe we ran out of.
Okay. Why not? Another idea.
That's how it should be.
Another idea. She's in the same country as you guys, right?
Yeah.
Get a ticket to her, or like fly her out, or like you guys fly to her. 1, 2, 3 days, shoot a bunch of content. That's it. Yeah. I know that this is not what you guys want to do. It's just easier to look for another fancy method, just like you guys did for the last couple of days, which did not really work out. But this is going to be the work that you have been avoiding so far. This is not the only solution. Obviously, if some of the models are in fucking like Argentina or Brazil or like whatever, it's not really possible. But even for them, rent out an Airbnb, get a videographer or photographer, easy. That is going to be the work that you guys have to do instead of looking at the like what kind of proxy to use or like whatever. Yeah. Make sense? Yeah. Again, background, fucking boring. Like this is like nothing for the background, right? It's like not exciting. Nothing aligns with her brand. Nothing. Also boring outfit. Like this is like a body. Like it doesn't showcase her best assets. It doesn't showcase her body. It's not building like any intrigue. It's not. It's just like nothing. Like if I just look at this, I don't feel attracted to her at all because it looks like a bag. Exactly. So would you buy content from her? Like, would you be interested in looking at her OF? At least based on this picture, not really. Does that make sense so far? There is not like basically there is no contrast because also the background is white. Like everything is like fully blurred. Obviously, like her hair is going to be the most visible, and also like her eyes. But apart from that, is like there's no contrast. And also no payoff. Like if they are watching it until the end, there's just the text. There's nothing is happening. And one of the most important things with IG is going to be if they are watching until the end, like making sure that they are watching. Like, why the fuck would they watch apart from the text? If there was like no text, then nothing would be happening, right? And with these kind of videos, there is like so much that that is like no, like there is not enough intrigue in that.
And with the text like this, should we split them up in 2 sections maybe, or?
You also did it with the other model at the end with the BBW model, where even if you just like do the tag, because right now like it's in full, like they are able to like read it in the first couple of seconds. But if it's like eating a pussy is like eating, like it would be arriving like this, then it would make sure that the guys are more inclined to watch until the end because they want to figure out, okay, like what's happening. Make sense? Okay, this is another creator. Like, who is she? Like, based on this, like, it's nothing. Yeah. Like, at least, like, looking, because this is her profile. That this is what guys are going to see when they watch, like, one of your video, like one of her videos, and then clicking on the profile.
Do you think posts, like picture posts and
Carousel
stuff like that are?
100%. Because the thing is, all of these are, like, taken from the videos. Like, look at her fucking face. Based on this face, would you be interested in looking at her OF? No. Based on this picture, would you be interested in? No. Based on this, would you be? No. Based on this, maybe because she's showing her ass and that's it. Right? And if you're looking at on the phone, it's going to be the top 3. And they're like, that this is the main thing that they're going to be looking at. like this.
You can check your page, yeah.
Does that make sense? It's like not building an intrigue. Okay, and you have her Gmail there. Why?
The cheat code that there is, we will remove that. I already discussed it.
Okay,
It's useless.
check my highlight. That's okay. Link, me, food, travel. These are kind of basic. There is no big problem with that. The link. Next. Does this build more intrigue?
Not necessarily.
So now the guys have the question because they know that it is going to be their OF. Then, okay, am I interested enough? Like based on this, and also obviously like the ratio is shit and like all of this other stuff. And also, hey, is there like, hey, that's it. Like they are not going to be more interested, right? This is what's going to like be the one of almost the final steps when they go to the OF. Based on this, you wouldn't click on it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
These are the reels. Another important thing is whenever our guy watches some of the videos, they're also going to check out the page, like all the other reels that she's posting. Would you click on any of these?
No, not really.
Because what we have discussed before. Like, what is this background? Is she like living in a place like this?
Yeah, but to argue with you, okay? I don't want to argue, but these are reels, so they appear on your feed. You don't have to click on them.
Yes,
But yes, the page, I agree that the page should do better than this.
Have you ever noticed that whenever a reel goes viral, all the other reels also go viral?
Yeah, correct.
Because some of the guys are like checking all the other videos. They wouldn't be clicking on this. And just because like this is on the feed, it's still like, it looks boring as fuck, right? And like all of, like for example, what is this background? Like a shitty bathroom, like from the Soviet Union,
Yeah.
right? Also, like this is the only prop there. Like none of these are adding anything else to it. We just like break down like one of these videos. Again, the hook was a little bit better than before with other model because other one was just like standing like that, but it's still not enough. Let me just play it again. There wasn't like enough movement, like what's needed. This was again a little bit better. Am I too petite for your taste? From this, like from her clothes, are you able to see like how she looks like? Her body? Does that make sense? And also just based on the other picture, her best asset would be her ass. Is this showcasing it?
No, but how would you accentuate that and also keep complying with the IGN or PRPN?
Making sure that she's wearing clothes that is like showcasing her ass. It's just going to be like one, like some kind of jeans or some kind of like gym clothing, which has like between her ass cheeks, it would be like a line or like I'm not sure like how to say it, clothing like that, or something to make sure that it's as visible as possible. Because based on this, like this is nothing. I cannot see jack shit. I'm not saying to be like super sexual with it, but making sure that okay, does she look interesting in this clothing and with this background and with this everything? No, not really. Boring background, boring outfit. There was like no payoff. There was like nothing interesting happening at the end. Like they're not going to be rewatching it. And again, there was like no contrast because with this, like it's super funny that like there is again not going to be any contrast because her like top is also white just as the background, and this is like almost the same color as the floor. So like she's kind of blending in with everything. There's also like no interesting part in it. For example, if she had like a SpongeBob like socks or something, or like a funny hat or some bullshit, that would have already added some more like better contrast or like something more interesting to it. But this is boring. Does that make sense? Next one is the AI creator. Looking at this looks super fucking random, right? There's no nothing, no branding, like no one kind of vertical that you guys are using. You're just like trying out multiple shit, and that's it, right? Again, no carousels, no nothing. No highlight. I guess since you just like started this, I understand why there is like not enough highlights. But again, it's just like a random mess of everything. Also,
Good question. Do you think we should niche down really extremely with the AI content or keep them more general? Like do the police shit?
a really good question. With this, everyone says that they have the method for IG. Everyone says that, okay, if you just focus on one niche. The best thing that you can do is try out multiple stuff, like multiple accounts with like, let's just say 3 accounts with 3 different verticals, 3 different niches, like even more 5, 10 or whatever, to see what is working the best. Because no one knows what's going to be the best for the market, right? So that it's just going to be testing. Test out 3 different kinds of accounts for 1 month, see what is working the best, double down on it. Super simple. Also, this video, this is a really good idea. Let me just play it again. Again, like almost all of the video is dead space. It feels like that the video just got stuck in loop.
Yeah.
Like you have 1 or 2 seconds for every single viewer. The first 1 or 2 seconds, you're not really catching it because it doesn't know like what's happening. It just feels like a speech because it's also like not sexual enough or like not like the sexuality is not there. So they're like, why the fuck would they like keep on watching? It should be happening in the first like 1 or 2 seconds that she got scared or like something happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And also it feels like kind of scripted because she says that, yeah, my ex is filming me. But if you really break it down, like if there was a real girl like doing a speech and she sees like that, okay, someone is filming her that shouldn't be, she would get scared, right? Oh my god, what's happening? Not like my ex is video like shooting me or like whatever, right? That doesn't make any sense. And also just like the full camera and like all of this feels like kind of AI-ish or like kind of staged. Just like doesn't feel like a real content. Again, it's like kind of hard to like add all of those smaller stuff in with AI, but you do get my point, right?
Yeah. I think we just copied another video, but I'm not sure how that will get. Maybe I'm sure it's better.
Also, this is the last like BBW model. No story, no highlights. These are decent. Also, it gets like super boring because she's constantly at the same background. There's also going to be a huge contrast. Okay, in all of these, she has like makeup on, and boom, no makeup. It seems weird, right? Okay, again, no bio, highlights are kind of shit, no story, no nothing. And just by looking at her, who is she?
Yeah.
Apart from a baby diaper model, like there's nothing interesting, nothing funny. Like, why not? Again, with this, you're not able to like have like a audience basically. Like, who are you targeting exactly?
Maybe older guys. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, then break down. Okay, what are other guys into?
Most.
Okay, and like trucking, for example, or like fishing, or like hunting, for example, right? Or dad jokes.
Yeah.
Whenever we want to have like a target audience, we have to look at just like build a person, like a person in your head, and I break down. Okay, how old is he? What are his hobbies? What are his like biggest problems? It can be like single dads, for example. Okay, like what does most single dads do? Like dad jokes or like again with her it can be, for example, like football, or like she's single and she's looking for like a dad because she was like I don't know, like married for like X amount of years, something like this. Or she can be like a trad housewife or something like this. But with this is like nothing, right?
Just fools.
Just boobs. That's it. What I mentioned before, like this is way better. She's also talking, which is also like a really good plus. She's not wearing any makeup. Why not? We want to make her as good looking as possible, right? So make sure that we are either adding her makeup on or editing it that she looks a little bit prettier. Make sense? Also, the hook was on the back. Again, there is like not enough like visual hook. She's just like this, not jumping, not coming into the camera, not like nothing is really happening. And also she's just like, if you look at the video, it also feels scripted. And she's also like fidgeting, like she's like anxious about something. And just based on the voice, it feels like scripted because she's like super monotone sounding like this, and most people don't sound like this when they're talking about something, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, it needs hook, so fidgeting, it just feels super scripted. And yeah. So, did you guys learn anything from these?
Yeah, basically that they are not really doing a good job, but I guess I'm doing that already.
Okay, you're not getting the results because you're also not putting in the work. And it needs to be put in a lot of work, unfortunately. But you're going to be getting better results once we start working together. Because this was just to realize, okay, this is your current situation, just like what we did with the whiteboard before. Okay, we looked at, okay, Reddit is kind of working for you guys right now. You're working with a chatting agency. Then in like 1-2 days, you're going to get a chatting audit by my team to like look through all the chatting and making sure that they're also doing a good job. Also going to like look through personally, like what you're doing with the models, like how you are talking with them, and also put together like a personal like branding sheet for all of the girls that you're currently managing, and making sure that they're able to at least get some fucking traffic from IG and like actually put in the work. Sounds good?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.